Hello everyone, EtherSong here, and I am back with some more Blue Protocol news. The 15th Blue Protocol developer stream was held and covered a number of topics, including the upcoming story update, changes coming to the game, and a look at player feedback survey results. To start, we were shown what will be coming in the February update. It will include Chapter 5 of the story, and it will be about a star festival. 3 characters will take center stage at the festival in a manner reminiscent of Japanese idols. 2 of these characters we have seen in-game already, but a new character will also be making an appearance. Compared to previous parts of the story, this seems like it will be more lighthearted. A beach area is also being added with this update. The developers talked about a tide mechanic at this beach that opens up new areas depending on the water level. I've always liked tropical beach areas in online games, so I'm excited to explore this one. Continuing on, a number of changes will also be coming to the game. To start off, some changes will be made to debuffs in the game. The root debuff will now allow players to move enemies with skills. Up until now, when an enemy was rooted, it could not move and players could not move it either. But this change will allow heavy smashers to group up rooted enemies. Next, Taunt will now interrupt foes and force a target change immediately. Up until now, enemies already channeling an attack at another target would not be affected by the taunt right away. Next up, damage on a number of Spellweaver skills is being increased. We can see the multiplicative damage increase of various skills here. This makes sense because so many of the Spellweaver skills were very weak. Some skills are now having their damage increased by as much as 260%, so hopefully this will help balance out the Spellweaver class some. Next, the developers also talked about an increase to storage sizes in the game. Player equipment storage size is increasing from 1000 to 1500, photo album size is increasing from 18 to 30, and the friend list is increasing from 100 to 200. Changes to dungeon matchmaking are also coming. Dungeons usually require a party of 6 to enter, but if 1 minute passes with 3 or more players waiting, they will be able to enter dungeon without waiting for the remaining players. To compensate, enemy health will also scale with the number of players present. This seems to address some of the problems with matchmaking having difficulty finding enough players for some missions. I still think something like a dungeon roulette system to assign players to missions where players are needed should also be looked at, because I don't know if this current change by itself will be enough. Unique monster spawn conditions are also receiving some adjustments. Spawn timers are being decreased. Day or night specific spawns are also mostly being removed. And having a required number of players for a spawn is also being removed. This will make encountering unique monsters easier. Next up, a new system called Mount Caravan is also coming to the game. It allows players to send their mounts off on missions for rewards. Up to 5 mounts can be sent off at once. A player's equipped mount is also eligible to be dispatched. Along with this, a mount limit break feature is also being added. By increasing a mount's level, the rewards for the Mount Caravan missions will be increased. A new medal system is also coming to the game. It allows players to display medals received from certain achievements on their adventurer card. Moving on, we also got a look at new items coming in this February update. To start off, we got a preview of the clothing Gasha. It has a Star Festival theme. I personally like these female outfits. The one that looks like a shrine maiden on the far left is my personal favorite. Unfortunately, these are Gasha, so getting a specific outfit is difficult. We can also see the male outfits here. And finally, we have the mount. It looks like an idol on stage. It will have unique music that plays when ridden in-game.
今回ですね、BGM が変化します。お、曲変わった。さっきの。そうです。あ、で、これがこのライブ状況が動くと。動くと。そして、はい、ここから飛んでいく。Certain emotes can be unlocked by doing the Gasha a set number of times. We can see the emotes here. はいはいはい。同期ありなんですね。はいはいはい。このダンスがどんなダンスなのかはシナリオも見ていただければと。うん、そういうことですね。はい、5章に関わってくる。 さあそして
じゃあ横ですですね。
かわいいのよ。桃チラですね。
桃チラになるかは福祉だよ。
わからない。
福祉だよね。
福祉だよね。
神のご加護を。
これも御春精霊祭ね。
まあバファリア教の
バファリア教ですからね。序盤からもねかかってますけどね。
次がローリングダンスですね。
いいですね。これでも
My favorite is this last dance that will automatically sync for a funny group dance.
ちょっとずつずれるという仕様が入ってまして、
こうなるのね。
はい、同期をしてちょっとずつずれるんですよ。
はいはいはいはい
なんで。こういったことができると。
Next, we got to look at the player feedback results. The first question was, how do you feel about battles, actions, and enemies in the game? There are a range of colors here describing how players feel, from very good about it to very bad or don't know. Things at the top of this list players feel better about, and things at the bottom of the list they feel worse about. Going from top to bottom, the topics include battle action controls, battle action enjoyment, dungeon boss enjoyment, battle action content variation, unique enemy strength balance, field enemy strength balance, raid boss strength balance, mission level sync balance, and finally, elemental attribute balance. The battle action elements of this game are the most positively received, while elemental attribute balance is the most poorly received. This stems from the fire elemental burst being better than everything else. To fix this, buffs to other elemental bursts will be coming. While I think this will help some, I still feel like only being able to apply one elemental debuff to an enemy at a time is a related problem that wasn't talked about. The next survey question was about what players want from things like monthly events. The top 3 answers were something that promotes a feeling of the season, a unique game mode or battle type during the event, and finally decorations for the town. As for events like this, I have to say the Guild Wars series does this best. For people unfamiliar with Guild Wars, for Halloween and Christmas events, the main town gets fully decorated and there are a number of unique areas and events also accessible. In addition, there are seasonal weapons and consumables as well. I don't think any other online game does seasonal events as well as Guild Wars. I would love to see something like this on a similar scale in Blue Protocol. The next survey question was asking players about their favorite Gasha outfit series. The top answer was the maid outfits at 31%. Developers said they will be bringing these back once again. We also got to look at players' thoughts on PvP. Over 60% of players said they would not be interested in PvP content in the game. However, if it was a casual battle mode, something like Tag, nearly 60% of the players would be interested, so I think we could see some more casual PvP modes added to the game, perhaps something like snowball fights or something for winter and such. The next question asked players what type of content they would like to see added to the game. The top responses in order are lifestyle features such as housing, additional clothing and accessories, more character creation parts, bug fixes and quality of life features, and finally new classes. Housing and other lifestyle features are the most requested feature, which makes sense for a game like this. The developers noted they do have a housing feature and other lifestyle features in development, but it will take some time to release. One thing I'm worried about from these player responses is that not enough people are requesting in-game content for the game. Currently, there is more or less no in-game, which I think impacts the retention rate of players. Perhaps these lifestyle features can act as a more casual in-game for players, but I would like to see the battle action in-game elements of the game also expanded. Overall, I thought this was a fairly good stream. The next chapter of the story looks lighthearted but exciting, and I'm looking forward to exploring the new beach area. The changes coming to the game all seem to be moving the game in a positive direction, but I can't help but feel like some areas are treating symptoms but not the disease. For example, in matchmaking, there are so many missions that players have no incentive to return to. Thus, new players will find it difficult to find parties for these earlier dungeons. They changed number of players required down to 3 from 6, but if no one is doing these dungeons, I don't think even 3 players will be found from matchmaking. As for another thing, certain attributes will be receiving elemental burst buffs, but I still think that only being able to apply one element at a time is discouraging more varied builds. Beyond that, the in-game of the game is non-existent, but it was not touched on at all. Hopefully areas like this will be looked at and improved in the future. What did you think about the developer livestream? Are there any features you think should be added to the game? Let me know in the comments, and until next time, later!